In this video, I'm going to show you how you can quickly sketch graphs. So given something weird like this, to sketch it, let's investigate 0, 1 and -1. Normally they're easy to work out. So let's put 0 into the x. So that would then give us 1 over 1 plus e to the power -0 is 1. So that will then be a half. So when x is 0, it will jump to a half. And then let's investigate -1. So when you put -1 into here, you're going to get a negative of a negative. So that would then be 1 over 1 plus e to the power of +1. So roughly, this is 2.7 something. Let's just imagine this is the number 3. So that would be roughly 1 over 4, roughly. So 1 over 4 would be somewhere around here. And then let's put 1 into here. So hang on, let me clean this up. So when you put 1 into there, it will then be 1 over 1 plus e to the power of -1, because you put a positive number in there. So this thing here will then become 1 over e. And then I'll realize that, oh, I can't be bothered to investigate this. So let's just leave this. You can if you want to, but it's too much work. So let's just leave this blank for the time being. Okay, so far we know that our graph looks like this. We know that our graph looks like this. It passes through a half and roughly a quarter. So now let's investigate what happens when x heads towards positive infinity, meaning when x is very, very big. Let's just imagine x to be 1000. So that would be 1 over 1 plus e to the power of -1000. So this block here, e to the power of x, e to the power of -x will look like this. So so when x is 1000, when x is 1000, you can see that this thing here is going to be very, very small. Okay, so this thing here would be very, very small. So that would then be, this thing here would then be roughly 1 over 1 plus very, very, very small. So in your mind, picture a really, really small number. So so this is going to be roughly 1 divided by roughly 1. Bear in mind that the denominator is slightly bigger than the numerator, so it's going to head towards 1. It's going to head towards 1, but it's going to approach 1 from the underside, so it's going to be slightly less than 1. So so let me just remove 1. So you know the graph will look something like that. So the limit here, we say the limit is 1 because it is approaching 1, but it's approaching 1 from the underside. Just bear that in mind. So hang on, let me clean this up. So now investigate what happens when x is very, very negative big. Let's just imagine 1000. So that's really me asking you, what is the limit of this as x heads towards negative infinity? So we need to investigate what happens on the left hand side of the graph. So hang on, when you put a very negative big number into here, that would then be 1 over 1 plus remember, when you put a -1000 in there, it becomes positive because there's a negative there. So that would, imagine it to be something like this. So e to the power of 1000 is going to be a very, very big number. So this is y equals e to the power of x. This block here, you know, is going to be a very, very big number. So this thing here would then be very similar to 1 over 1 plus very, very, very big number. So 1 divided by, you see, this 1 here is really irrelevant because this is going to be a very, very big, let's say 1 billion, and 1 billion plus 1, well, you can really ignore this 1 if you want to. So it's going to be 1 divided by very, very big. When you have 1 divided by very, very, very big, the overall thing would be very, very small. So it's going to be somewhere around here. So at least you know your graph will look something like this. It passes through a half, it passes through near a quarter, and then it's heading towards 0 from above. So it's going to look something like this. Okay, so so the limit here, we said that the limit here is actually 0 because it is approaching 0. So if you plot this into Desmos, it will give you this graph. It will give you this graph. Okay.